This message found you on a Monday at night for a reason. Let's dive in. I feel I'm connected to people who are a bit more on the borderline. You tend to listen to readings and maybe watch spooky videos, but then you're also someone who tries to maybe be a bit more logical with the messages that you receive. So you might go, well, that was just a coincidence. That was just something that shouldn't have come in. Okay, this is interesting because these flipped out reversed. So you got the Emperor, Knight of Wands, the Lovers, and the Chariot all in reverse. So looking at the Emperor first, I feel there is a bit of a pattern here because all of these, if they were in right way, it would be a really good reading. And even in reversed, I feel this is learning opportunities for you. So the reverse for the Emperor for the collective would be someone who is very controlling, someone who also doesn't listen. And then you've got the Knight of Wands. That is someone who, if you don't see the results of whatever you're trying to control here, you get very frustrated and you might even abandon your plan for something else because you're wanting results quick. The Lovers is all about losing passion quickly, and you're someone who will leave. And then again, the Chariot. So for the Chariot, it is someone who is trying to do their best, but you feel defeated quite often and you don't want to fight. You're feeling very hopeless. If I was just to read them like that, it could still resonate. I feel there's more to the picture though, because as I mentioned, I feel you're someone who is on the border of spirituality and you dabble in getting readings, maybe even got a tarot deck, or maybe you've got a pendulum, or maybe you've bought yourself some crystals because you're open. But then at the same time, you're very logical. And that is where I'm getting this Emperor card, because you are almost at that point, but you almost are someone who likes evidence. So you might receive a reading, but you're thinking, okay, well, that's very general. When you get a general reading that is for multiple people, it is always going to feel general. It's going to feel very broad, because unless your guide or your loved one is coming in directly going, hey, Jane, this is Uncle Jim, and I want you to listen to me, you're not going to hear it. And then the Knight of Wands. So when that evidence for you feels like it's not coming through, you're not getting the messages, you might even be someone who goes, oh, you're a fake, and because this didn't resonate for me, and you said at the beginning this is for me. It might be for you. This message might be for you. But you always take what resonates. You're too quick to jump ahead, because you might be going, okay, well, I'm not going through that. That's not something I'm going through. But a lot of the times, the readers are giving a very broad message. So when they give a message, they might say, you're dealing with financial issues. And you might be like, yep, that's true. And they might go, you're looking into maybe buying a house. And you go, no, but then you're looking into getting a car. So you're still looking into buying to something. but you still have those financial issues. So for them, they're going, okay, well, I'm just giving a broad example of something, and you're taking whatever negative things you can that don't resonate for you. The Lover's card. So I feel this is where you are very torn, because you are someone who is so invested in wanting to be right. You want to be right. You also want to have people like you. And I feel for this collective, you're someone who is either really into having those deep dive talks with people and talking about philosophy and the meaning of life and whatnot. But then on the other hand, you're also someone who, if they disagree with you, you're very quick to go, no, I don't agree. And then you close yourself off from that conversation. You can disagree with someone. It's okay to disagree with someone. In fact, it is healthy to have a different opinion to someone else, but hear them out. Because although their opinions, their values, whatever might not align with yours, there might be something that aligns with you within what they have to say. And you're more likely to have a more meaningful conversation with someone with them when they disagree with you, because you can bounce off each other going, I disagree with that point. Can you tell me more about it though? And then as you're going through, maybe there's a point where you go, oh, okay, I do believe that, or that's something I do align with. And then you can tell them your bit, and they might do the same, go, I disagree with that. And you go, yep, and you continue talking. And it's a very back and forth. And you find that with that, you may have learnt something, may have learnt something from you. And you don't have to agree with them. Because yes, like attracts like. But we also are uniquely ourselves. So if we are in a world where everyone's the same, it's going to be very boring. So accept people with their different opinions. It doesn't have to be someone who you agree with, and you don't have to agree with everything they say. You don't have to listen to everything they have to say either. But if it's a conversation you're already having and you're going, oh, yeah, yep, what is your opinion? And then they say something and you're automatically shutting down, that's your opportunity to expand your horizons. Allow yourself. Because when you do, this reading would be in an opposite direction. These cards would be unreversed. This Chariot here, for example, is feeling that stuck, and it's feeling that hopelessness, because you might feel no one really truly understands you. You might even be in that state of mind of, is there anyone who will actually ever understand me? And yes, there are. There are probably plenty of people who have very similar views, but you're not going to find those type of people by shutting them down as soon as they disagree with something. It's not about convincing them. And it's not about just proving them. It's about listening to what they have to say. And if you disagree, that's okay. And same with you. You say what you have to say. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to try and convince them. You just give them the facts and leave it at that. What they do with that information is on them. And that's your biggest takeaway for now, is everything, including spiritual and the physical, I guess, would be probably the best way. But everything that you deny yourself from at least knowing or clarifying, maybe even potentially blocking yourself from learning something or expanding yourself. I think you really need to look into expanding your knowledge. All right, let's have a look. I release self-judgment and embrace self-love. I find beauty in every aspect of my being. We can fly into your life when you need help finding love for yourself. Allow us to help you see yourself as a true, beloved child of the divine. Okay. I do like this message. If this resonated, definitely drop a comment and a like. And if you're feeling, I want to know more, what else do I need to know? Definitely check out the links down below because you can book a session with me. And yeah, I look forward to it. Have a good day. Bye.